everyone, welcome back to our one step podcast series. අපේ මේ podcast එකේදී අපි කතා කරන්නේ past perfect tense එක ගැන. අපි මේ ඉස්සෙල්ලා කරපු මේ tenses යටතේ කරපු podcast යටතේ අපි කතා කරා past simple tense සහ past continuous tense එක ගැන. present tense එක යටතේ present simple tense, present continuous tense, present perfect continuous tense සහ present perfect tense එක ගැන අපි කතා කරා. In this podcast, we will be talking about past perfect tense. Like I talked in the previous podcast, these tenses that come under the grammar section of the English language are divided into three main sections as past tense, present tense, and future tense. And they are again divided into subdivisions such as past perfect, past simple, and present perfect, and so on. lesson එකට යන්න ඉස්සෙල්ලා මතක් කරන්න ඕන අපේ one step home page එකේ startup course එක යටතේ අපි මේ past perfect tense එකට අදාළ ඔක්කොම study materials publish කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒව refer කරන ගමන් මේ podcast එකට අහුම්කම් දෙන්න. Before we go into the lesson, I would like to remind all of you to visit our one step home page. And under there in the startup course, we have provided all the study materials related to this lesson. So while you're listening to this, refer them to get a good understanding of this lesson. අපි මේ past perfect tense එක මොන වගේ අවස්ථාවන් වලදීද භාවිතා කරන්න කියලා බැලුවොත් ඒක අපි භාවිතා කරන්නේ අතීතයේ වෙනත් ක්‍රියාවකට හෝ යම් කිසි නිශ්චිත මොහොතකට පෙර අවසන් වූ ක්‍රියාවක් ගැන කතා කරනකොට අපි මේ tense එක භාවිතා කරනවා. The past perfect tense is used to talk about an action that was completed in the past before another action or before a very precise moment in the past. If we look at an action that was completed in the past before another action, she had practiced the dance before she went to the class. මේ sentence එකේ she went to the class කියන එක් ක්‍රියාවක්, she had practiced the dance කියන එක තවත් ක්‍රියාවක්. she had practiced the dance කියන sentence එක එන්නේ she went to the class කියන ක්‍රියාවට ඉස්සෙල්ලා. ඒක ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පේනවා ඇති අපිට මේ past perfect tense එක භාවිතා කරලා actions දෙකක් ගැන කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. තව example එකක් බලුවොත් it started raining after we had played cricket. We had played cricket is one sentence or one action, and before that it had started raining, which is the second action. And if we look at actions that took place before a very precise moment, යම් නිශ්චිත මොහොතකට පෙර සිදු වූ ක්‍රියා ගැන අපි බැලුවොත් it had started to rain by 3 p.m. වෙලාව 3 වෙනකොට වහින්න පටන්ගෙන තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේ අවස්ථාවලදීද අපිට මේ past perfect tense එක භාවිතා කරන්න පුළුවන්. මේ past perfect tense එකට තව examples බලුවොත් I had eaten, you had eaten, he had eaten, she had eaten, it had eaten, we had eaten, they had eaten. By looking at these examples, you can see the sentence structure of sentences where the past perfect tense is used. It goes as subject plus had plus the past participle of the main verb. Subject ඊට පස්සේ had කියන වචනේ අන්තිමට past participle එකකින් ක්‍රියාව තියලා තමයි අපි මේ past perfect tense එකේ යොදාගෙන sentences හදන්නේ. I had eaten කියන sentence එකේ I කියන්නේ subject එක. ඊට පස්සේ had කියන වචනේ යොදා ගන්නවා. eaten කියන්නේ eat කියන verb එකේ past participle එක. And these sentences or these examples are all in the positive sense. මේ අපි දැන් කතා කරපු මේ sentences ඔක්කොම තියෙන්නේ ධනාත්මක අදහසක් දෙන විදියට. ඒවා අපි ඍණාත්මක අදහසකින් තිබ්බොත් I had not eaten. ඒක අපි abbreviate කරොත් I hadn't eaten. had not කියන එක hadn't කියලා අපිට shorten කරන්න පුළුවන්. You had not eaten. You hadn't eaten. She had not eaten. She hadn't eaten. And the format goes on like that. So far we discussed how to use these sentences in positive and negative formats. Next, let us look at how to form questions with this past perfect tense. And before we go into that section, I would like to remind all of you to visit our one-step homepage. And under there in the startup course, we have provided all the study materials related to this lesson. Please refer them while you are listening to this podcast to get a good understanding of this lesson. අපේ one step home page එකේ startup course එක යටතේ අපි මේ lesson එකට අදාළ ඔක්කොම study materials publish කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒව refer කරන ගමන් මේ podcast එකට හැමකම් දෙන්න. Now let us look at how to form questions with the past perfect tense. මේ past perfect tense එක යොදාගෙන අපි ප්‍රශ්න සාධන ආකාරය දැන් බලමු. මුලින්ම අපි positive interrogative format එක බලමු. ඒ කියන්නේ ධනාත්මක අදහසකින් ප්‍රශ්න සාධන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා බලමු. If you want to ask a question which will give a detailed answer, it would go as, why had you eaten dinner before the guest arrived? Here, why had you is the question format used in this interrogative sentence. Why කියන question word එක මුලට එනවා. ඊට පස්සේ had කියන වචනය එනවා. you කියන subject එක ඊට පස්සේ යොදා ගන්නවා. අන්තිමට eaten කියන past participle එකෙන් තියෙන verb එක අපි add කරගන්නවා. First we use a question word like why, where, when, and then we use had. Thirdly, we add the subject, which can be I, you, he, or she. And lastly, we add the past participle format of the main verb. In this case, it is eaten, which is the past participle of the verb eat. And the answer to this question will go as, I had eaten dinner before the guest arrived because I was hungry. මෙතන because I was hungry කියන කොටස තමයි අර අපි අහපු ප්‍රශ්නෙට උත්තරය. ඒත් එක detailed answer එකක් විදිහට අපි දෙනකොට ඒ මුළු sentence structure එකම අපි යොදා ගන්න ඕන. එතකොට මෙතනදී ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පේනවා ඇති I had eaten කියන එක positive sense එකෙන් තියෙන past perfect tense එක යොදාගෙන අපි සාදාගත් වාක්‍යයක් කියලා. I කියන subject එක මුලට ඇහිලා ඊට පස්සේ had කියන වචනය යොදාගෙන eaten කියන past participle එකෙන් තියෙන verb එක අගට යොදා ගන්න. තව examples බලුවොත් what had you brought here? How had you traveled to Thailand? Where had she kept the money? Where had they slept? And then if you want to get a question to get a yes or no reply, the sentence or the question will go as, had you written the essay I told you to write? මෙතනදී had කියන වචනේ මුලට ඇහිලා ඊට පස්සේ subject එක ඇහිලා අන්තිමට past participle එකෙන් තියෙන verb එක අපි යොදා ගන්න. එතකොට මේ වගේ question එකකට අපි answer කරනකොට no, I have not written the essay yet. Or you can just say no. තව examples බලුවොත් had she spoken yet? Had they taken the medicine the doctor gave? Next, let us look at how to use the past perfect tense in negative interrogative sentences. ඊළඟට අපි බලමු ඍණාත්මක අදහසින් මේ ප්‍රශ්න විමසන්නේ කොහොමද මේ past perfect tense එක භාවිතා කළා. Why had she not spoken to her yet? එක අපි තව short කරොත් නැත්නම් abbreviated format එකේ sentence එකේ why hadn't she spoken to her yet? Had she not spoken to her yet? Hadn't she spoken to her yet? What had they not done to the house? What hadn't they done to the house? Like that, you can form negative interrogative sentences using the past perfect tense. And with that, we have come to the end of this podcast. Please visit our one-step homepage, and under there in the startup course, we have provided all the study materials related to this lesson. මෙතනින් අපි මේ past perfect tense එක ගැන කර podcast එක අවසන් කරනවා. අපේ one step home page එකේ startup course එක යටතේ අපි මේ podcast එකට අදාළ ඔක්කොම study materials publish කරලා තියෙනවා. Thank you for joining with us. Stay tuned in for more podcasts related to the upcoming lessons.